Hello, hello! Pete's Pax here, and we're live. And today is Catholic and Protestant Easter. Next week is Orthodox Easter. So, happy Easter to everyone. All the religious greetings and whatnot. I am not religious, but I do try to observe the holidays for most religions. So, that is a thing. Today we were going to be working on getting Dominary Remastered a little more organized. Get a slightly better handle on it. So we can get ready for putting it in books. So that's a whole thing. Oh, that is a heavy box. So, we got some really cool stuff when we were going through originally. We got our bunch of misprints. That was the terrible storm deck that I drafted. Let's get some stuff pulled up to start organizing and getting ready to go into books. So, yeah. Misprints over there, which there were many. Yeah, cool. Let's get some of this stuff organized. I also need to de-sleeve that draft deck. So, alright. Start off with our land. Our rares can go right there. Question is, do we separate off our retro frames too? Or what do we do there? Well, if we're going to do it that way, may as well... Ugh. Oh, big old clump of dust there. Just cleaned my ceiling fan last night, so it was throwing off little bits of dust bunnies that had built up. So let's do rares, lands, and then we can have our commons and uncommons back here. Which... Yes, we can do uncommons sitting up. That work? That might work. Uncommons. And we'll do retro foils. Okay, yep. That works. Retros, rares. So really we should have our retros here, our rares here. Just because of ordering. Yeah, retros here, rares here. We have our uncommons. And our commons. Yeah, so many great commons and uncommons in this set. Things that really needed, reprints for like Pauper and everything else. Base Fifth. Uncommons. Commons. Foil rare, regular rare. And of course I put those in the wrong spot. Yeah, we're still figuring out this system. It's fine. Rare. Common. Common. Our commons are wanting to be a little mischievous today. I probably had the ordering correct to begin with, or I've already pulled all my retro frames, except for that one, and just don't realize it. Oh, there they go. So, we're only going to stream for about an hour today. I do have a family function for my partner's family that I have to attend to, so, which is fine. That is so cool. So that will be taking up a majority of my day. My normal podcast recording is canceled this week because my podcast co-host, his partner, is also hosting family, so that is a thing. The borderless stuff there. Those are miscut. We'll put them to the side. So that's an uncommon. Those are commons. That. Seriously. I think I already separated off all the foils, which is fine. Just a little confused as to why I thought I didn't. So, Hey Russell, happy Easter. Happy Catholic and Protestant Easter, at least. Orthodox Easter is next week. But happy holiday all the same. How are you doing today, man? Need coffee. You are a coffee zombie right now. Let's see. Oh, time stretch. Well, I am organizing Dominaria Remastered at this point. Apparently I sort of organized some parts as I was going, and didn't do it to everything, so, whole thing there. I'm doing alright, just getting attacked by my allergies a little bit. Nothing too bad, just getting choked lightly by the pollen. Fortunately, pollen's not very good at getting consent. But, it's a whole thing. Have an Easter get-together for my partner's family. Oh, I forgot I had a retro frames there. But, Oh yeah, it's just slightly worse than wearing a turtleneck. Yeah, pretty much. What's the old Mitch Hedberg joke? If you're wearing a turtleneck and a heavy backpack, it's like a midget with weak hands that's trying to take you down. Sorry, a little person with weak hands is trying to take you down. Arthritic little person. Just that mental image is so funny to me, and I don't know why. This arthritic little person has it out for me, and they just jumped on my back and are trying to take me down. All day. Yeah. It does kind of wear on you. Kind of like an arthritic little person trying to take you down. Eventually they'll succeed, because you just get tired. By the way, I don't know if you've seen them, but the retro frame buddy lands, or not buddy lands, but check lands in Dominaria Remastered are gorgeous. I wish they had done all 10 of them, but they only did 5. I think they only did 5. I only remember them doing 5. I think they only did the enemy colors. I think that's right. Which I don't think the ally colors have a retro frame version yet. Which makes me sad. I really like the the retro frame version. But as you know, like I'm a total simp for retro frame stuff. I love it. So I also ate a bunch of roasted veg last night for dinner. So I have been musical all morning. So that's fun. Don't bother ringing it up, it's for a deck. I get it. Yeah, if I can get a retro frame land, I'll try to get that version. Yep. Yeah, I am genuinely considering replacing my regular set versions from what Innistrad, either Innistrad or Dark Ascension, with those, and they're super cheap right now too, which is nice. And I like the retro frame damping sphere. Actually, I like all the retro frame stuff from the set. It's really nice. I'm glad they reprinted crop rotation, because that definitely needed to happen. A little weirded out that they did it as an uncommon, considering that crop rotation has been a common multiple times. But, you know, it is what it is. Alright, I'm gonna need more slots for commons, because that is full. How do I want to do this? Oh, I thought you said it's for a deck. For a deck, okay. It's for a duck. Oh, is that the one about the receipt for a donut? Or was that someone else? It's been so long since I've watched that comedy special. It feels like it was an eternity ago. Alright, I need to do one thing so I can actually see chat. I need to move this over. I have slowly been populating the controls on my Stream Deck, and the more I use this thing, I fucking love this thing. Like, I've got it set up. Let's see if I can get it on camera. I can almost get it to the camera. So like I've got my active stream controls here, I've got my setup stuff over here, so I can set like my profile and what viewport I'm using and everything else. Like I love this thing. I wish it had more than, you know, a 1 meter cable on it, but you know, that's a thing. I think they just assume that we all have like these tiny cramped desks instead of this huge spread out monstrosity that I have. Which is good sometimes, because I can pile a bunch of crap on it, but then I've piled a bunch of crap on it. And it becomes more difficult to use. But the other issue is, it is very difficult for me to, it was how Subway gives away free bread for ducks, so he's gonna order a sandwich and tell the cashier, don't worry about ringing it up, it's for a duck. Oh, I mean, that's pretty good too. I think they stopped. Didn't they stop doing that because it was hurting the local duck population or something? I don't really remember. That was from the early 2000s too. Yeah, I'm really enjoying my Stream Deck. I've been looking at different things that you can do to improve your workflow with it, and I keep running across like these productivity bloggers that are like, you can do everything with your Stream Deck. You should have it set up so that you can automate your entire life with the press of a button. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's cool and all, and I love automation, but I don't need that. I just want to know how to mute my mic. Hey, Walter Griffith, how's it going? What's up? Today we are organizing DMR, so Dominaria Remastered, and I'm about to pull up live chat on the screen that's actually in front of me so I can see what you guys are saying a little bit easier. Let's see, pop out chat. Oh, no, I didn't mean to close that. There we go. Pop out chat. Hey, I can see things now. I have chat. Cool, 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 cool. Yep. So far, we've got our first batch of commons sorted through. Got about half of a row done at this point. We're moving on to the other half of that same row. I'm going to pop this up. These modular sorting trays are really cool, by the way. They're produced by BCW. Hashtag not sponsored. I bought this with my own money. Start getting ready for Easter lunch. Have a good day, buddy. Yeah. Thanks. You too, Russell. And I'll probably... Are you going to the pre-release on Friday? If so, I will see you there. If not, I'll see you next time. And I think our partners are scheming for a get-together in the next couple of days. So you have your people talk to my people, and we'll figure it out. Or have your person talk to my person, I guess. That also works. Yeah, I'm excited for March of the Machine. After the after Phyrexia All Is One, like, just left a horrible taste in my mouth. I'm really looking forward to some good limited. I did not care for Phyrexia All Is One limited. It was it's not great. Especially didn't like that Sholdred was back and available and limited. It's like, oh, hey, look. This thing that was miserable to play against is back. Also being miserable to play against. There were two different people at my LGS that pulled a Sholdred on the first night, and it was just like, are you serious? I have to play against this, and I played against both of them. It's like, I have to play against this garbage again. Oddly enough, I won both matches, and I was not happy about, like, even though I won, I was like, oh, okay, this was absolutely miserable. It's like, what? Why? Why are we doing this? Granted, I opened 2 Planeswalkers in my sealed pool, and I was like, I still don't like this. Opened Vraska and the Eternal Wanderer. And the Eternal Wanderer was actually the foil black and white art version. Which, I mean, it looked really cool. It's like, oh, this is shiny and neat. But also, why? Oh, here's a run of foils. Retroframe, foil, rare. Oh, foil. Found the foils. Retroframe, foil. Ooh, dark depths. Rare, foil. Yeah, I mean the set as a whole is just kind of meh for me. Like they definitely didn't spend enough time testing it, from what I can see. Oh, that's right. I pulled a foil Yawgmoth. I forgot about that. So the biggest issue that I had with the set is that it was pretty obvious that they didn't spend enough time testing it, especially for limited. And then they just did not test some of the interactions with the cards, which made it very unfun for me. And then the include of the Praetors. Yeah, I don't really play Commander either. I mean, I could see a lot of things in March of Machines having some interesting effects on several different formats. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh yeah, I forgot I got a foil retroframe Urza. Like I have a feeling that there are some things that are going to make a splash on Legacy. I don't want to jump the gun and make assumptions on them yet, but it does look like there's a few things that will definitely have some impact. And the what's it called? The Annihilation boosters? I think that's it. The special boosters that they're having for it seem neat. I don't know how I feel about having special boosters for every single set that's coming out. It seems unnecessary and feels like a cash grab, because it is a cash grab. But I mean, some of the stuff is genuinely cool. As a general rule, I'm not a fan of cash grabs, because it's cheap and it plays on the trust of the customers in a negative way. And if they keep doing it, they're going to turn off a lot, like even as it is, like they're turning off a lot of long-term customers by doing that, and I'm not a fan of that. None of the modern players I play with are happy with it. What specifically? I'm curious about that. I also haven't been looking at the spoilers that much, but there's a couple of battles that I think are going to have a pretty major impact in either modern or legacy. I don't think anything is going to impact vintage too much. Like, I didn't see anything just objectively broken, and I didn't see anything that was a one-for-one replacement for something already in vintage, so that generally is a tip-off, but I haven't seen anything directly yet that would indicate that it's going to have a major impact on vintage. But But what in particular is supposed to affect modern? Like, do you happen to know, or is it just a sentiment that they all share? Hey, we're back to regular cards. Like Atraxa, as soon as Atraxa got spoiled, I was like, that's going to end up in Reanimator, and it's probably going to end up in like Oath decks, and then it's ended up in everything at this point. Like, there are people just shoving Atraxa into whatever shell they can think of. Which, if a card is so good that you can just shove it into any shell and it works, then that card is one that was not properly tested and designed, in my mind. Because that should never be the case. A card shouldn't be that nakedly good, if that makes any sense. Like, the cards that are that good are poorly designed. Mana cost is the biggest complaints in the groups I play with, and some had bigger things with it, that some things will be in decks even if it makes no sense. Yeah, I could see that. I'm not sure about specifics, but I think there's some reprints that are supposed to be in it that might affect things like that. I'm not entirely sure, though. Trying to think of the ones that I saw that would be like that. And I generally don't like to look at spoilers for new sets. I have a really fun time going into limited blind my first time, and I just don't want to spoil that for myself, because I want to give this a chance to be a fun limited. My biggest concern is the battles. Adding a new card type has always caused really big ripples in the game, and like, I remember vividly when Planeswalkers were added, and that was a huge shift in the game. So, I have concerns, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Forgot how many certain things I ended up with in this. I love that people didn't understand that they are the Planeswalker, but then they had a card for a Planeswalker, then rules had to change for them. It was funny times. Yeah, I'm still mad about it, to be honest. I'm like, no, we're not supposed to be pulling other Planeswalkers. We are the Planeswalkers. That's the whole concept of the game. We are two Planeswalkers battling. And it was concerning how few people understood why I was angry. Like, what do you mean? That doesn't make any sense. We're just two battling wizards. No, you are two battling Planeswalkers. Like it makes a difference. Like this is a flavor fail in every sense. Like this doesn't make any goddamn sense. But there are still people that don't understand that. So, why are you so angry? It's like, because this is wrong. Because if you can pull planeswalkers, that means you could pull your opponent from the future to fight your opponent from right now. Because that is how things work. So, yeah, I was pretty butthurt about it. Still am. Oh, those are in the wrong stack. That's a rare. That should be in that stack. Yeah. I was in a group yesterday that was complaining about the size of booster packs, how they are going to give us less cards. What was funny, these same players play other... Wait, what? These same people play other TCG that come with not even... Yeah. I always thought it had been better to call them Planeswalkers cards, companions. Well, I mean, we ended up with companions much, much later. Or ally. Ally would have worked. Yeah, I think I get what you're saying there. I mean, like, companions were a new card type that they added, and they really screwed the pooch with that one. Like, they completely fucked that up. they've had to change the rules on companions 3 times. It was just so messed up. It's like, huh, did you really just not test any of this shit before you put it into print? And the answer is no, they did not. 10 cards and booster packs? Like, I'll be honest, I am genuinely pissed that set boosters even exist. Like, that should not be a thing. Like, but you end up having to buy them because they're, quote, the better value, but also there's shit that you can only get in the set boosters. Like, and that stuff isn't in the draft boosters. Like, there is nothing in draft boosters that you can't pull from set boosters. But there's a lot of stuff in set boosters that you can't pull in draft boosters. And generally, they're about the same price. So you are doing a bad, so to speak, or doing an inefficiency, I guess, is another way of putting it, to not get the set boosters, but then you get fucked on your commons and uncommons. So, yeah, I genuinely don't think anything gets playtested anymore either. Because, or at least not by people that play Magic. Like, I could see, or haven't been playing Magic for very long. Like, I could see their playtesters being complete newbies to the game. Like, that would track. It's like, oh, I see. You've never been exposed to how something like this works. Got it. Like, I could forgive that. And that makes total sense based on some of the things that they've allowed through in the last few years. But they definitely don't have... I can't imagine that they have veteran players that are competitively minded that have been testing these things. There's no way. Like, it does not make sense that that's the case. just from the stuff that they've allowed through in the last few years. Like, just Atraxa is an example of how that is a ludicrous, how that would just be ludicrous for that to be the case. So, at least that's how it appears to me. All right, we got a bunch of foils here. I can go ahead and put those back in the box with a divider for foils. Yeah, it is a thing. And then they're like, "Oh, you guys will be excited about this," and they just give us crap. So, I think it would be less egregious if they just acknowledged their mistakes, but they refuse to do it too. I think that adds to the issue. They're like, "Yeah, we messed up with this," and just owned it. I would be a lot less salty about a lot of things. Like they still haven't owned how big of a failure the Magic 30 event was. It's like, what did they think was going to happen? Like, they really just think that everyone's like, "Oh, I've got to have these." Like, come on. Because Magic 30 was just a slap in the face, the way they did the base promos for it. Just a big ol' fuck you to all their veteran players. And to all their regular players, too. Like, and the whole commander first mentality for design that they've been going with over the last couple of years, just, it's not working. It's producing a lot of bloated product. It's producing a lot of stuff that players don't want, and it's really just burning through their design space really quickly. So, because there's only a finite design space. Like, you can only design so many cards because there's only so many things that, can exist in the game. And by doing some of the things they've been doing at the rate they've been doing it, they're going to run out of design space. And they've actually talked about that a few times. And that is a very bad thing. Because there's only so many novel constructs of the way this card is. And adding a new card type doesn't really solve that either. Because what are they going to do? Continue the struggle between Phyrexia and all the other planes indefinitely? Like, on top of that, I mean, we've basically ended up with Avengers Endgame as a Magic set. Like, that's March of the Machines is effectively Avengers Endgame, which is fine, but I can't see that going on forever. And then on top of that, the way they're handling the two new sets, the Lord of the Rings set and the Commander Masters, like, just the pricing that they're putting out there so far for it is insane. It's genuinely insane. Like, I spend a lot of money on Magic, and when I saw them, I was like, what in the fuck are they thinking? So, yeah. Soapbox rant complete. And don't get me wrong, I love this game. I've been playing it for 30 years. Like, but some of the design decisions they've been making the last few years are, like, the best way I can put it is they're just downright offensive. It's like, what would make you, like, what the fuck would make you think that that was okay? But I digress. Like, DMR, I love DMR. There were some design decisions I didn't exactly agree with in it, but I could at least see why they did them. There's definitely some cards I would not have included in the set, and the set was a little large. But they were also trying to make something to please pretty much everyone, and they did fairly well with it. I do know some people that don't care for DMR, and there's not much value in it. It's been pretty well cut because of how large of a print run they did, but like I was genuinely happy overall with my experience with it. Like I feel there were some things that should have been in the set that weren't. And a few things that were in the set that shouldn't have been. Like, Forgotten Ancient, why was Forgotten Ancient put in the set? I don't understand why that card was in here. Like, it is a card that is a genuine feel bad no matter who opens it. Luckily, I only pulled one from a case, and I think a case and a case. Yeah, I think I got a case of collector boosters and a case of draft boosters, because there were only draft boosters. Yeah, from a case and a case, I only pulled one, which I was very happy about, because it is easily the worst card in the set. And I already have a boatload of them from every other time they've been printed. I just, like, find all of the foils or something? I think I just separated by foil and rare earlier, and I've just run into all the foils and rares. Do, 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 do. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Lord of the Rings set that's supposed to come out sometime later this year? I think it's a neat idea. I'm really upset that they're doing a one-of-one printing. I think one-of-one printings are just inherently bad. I'm not really a fan of the enumerated stuff. Like, I don't think it's good for the health of the game because of how much speculation ends up on it. But I mean, it is better than some of the other things they've gone with, though. Like, I guess if I had to pick between two crappy concepts, I would take it over what they did with All Will Be One, which is the million different variants. But I feel like there has to be some kind of happy medium where they reprint stuff that needs to be reprinted, but don't like go crazy on variants inside of standard sets. But it is what it is. I just wish they would slow down with the cash grabs and slow down with the release cycle, because the release cycle has just been way too fast. It has been difficult to keep up with anything as a result. Wow, I ended up with so many foils from this set. That's another thing that has kind of just put me off in the last few years. Like how many foils just exist now. I remember when you were lucky to get 4 or 5 foils from a box. Which wasn't that long ago. And now it feels like I have more foils than non-foils. Which, considering that I prefer non-foils because of the issue with curling foils, is distressing, I think is the right word. Alright. Been on my soapbox quite a bit today. Like, if I got my hands on another case of collector's boxes for DMR, I would not be upset about it. But I'm not exactly going to go hunting for one. I do think it's funny that they put sneak attack in the retro frame. It's like, oh hey look, it's a sneak attack that looks like all my other sneak attacks. Which that was pretty funny. I still have my sneak attacks from Rizzo Saga. Alright. Oh, you know what? I know why there's so many foils here. This is the stuff from the collector's boxes. That makes so much sense. It's like, oh, these are in a pattern. Okay. Also, given that today is Easter, I can't be on too long. But I do want to get through these. And we've been going almost an hour. So I do have plans with my partner's family. So I will need to get this show on the road. Those are rares. Yep, definitely a pattern here. Foil Fire Blast. That is spicy. Yeah. So let's see. I wonder what was the last time they actually play tested stuff. Well, play tested stuff well. Because like, I started having, I started really questioning whether or not they had play tested stuff like around Kaladesh. Actually, no. No, I can tell you exactly when it was. Battle for Zendikar was the first time I thought, I don't think they playtested this at all. And I have questioned their playtesting methods since then. Because there's just so much stuff that that has slipped through during that time. It's like, I don't know if they know what they're doing here. And I don't remember. I think that was around when Wizards of the Coast was acquired by Hasbro. Now that I think about it, that seems about the right. That seems about the same time. I'm not sure if that's exactly correct, but that seems about right. Nice. Oh, that is 2 entire trays worth. These are all foils. They will be banished to the foil realm. Not to be seen or heard from again until someone's like, hey, do you have a foil one of these? I guess I'll be like, yes, I have 9 of them. Oh god, there's more. Okay. These are misprints. We're gonna need a bigger desk. You know what the best thing about DMR was? Hey, Nick Daly, how's it going? So, you know, I have determined, I have figured out, today we are organizing Dominaria Remastered. We just got through what appears to be the case of collector's boosters that I opened. Not entirely sure. And we're starting on the 3rd row of the long box that was used. So, and then I've got 2 additional boxes of stuff. 2 additional small boxes. Stuff that hasn't been organized yet. These. How about you? How's it going? Happy Catholic and Protestant Easter. Orthodox Easter is next week. Happy early Orthodox Easter if you're Orthodox, which would be a little surprising. They don't really run into many. Alright, we're going to split off our rares so we have more room. There we go. That's a good block. Hold that there. You're going to be working on a CEDH deck. Oh, cool. What kind of theme are you going with on it? I've been helping a few viewers off and on with their various decks. It's mostly just been, I mean, stuff that's obvious to me, but just core deck building concepts for the most part. As you know, it seems like people, like the kids these days don't know the old ways when it comes to deck building, and I'm well versed in the old ways. the dark ancient magics of deck building. Black, white, blue artifacts. Okay. Is it a Brea deck by any chance? Well, you didn't say red, so I guess it wouldn't be Brea. What's your commander? say that like I play Commander, but I don't play Commander very often. Oh, that is the wrong place. It's not where those go. So, oh, that's not the rares. That's the rares. My brain is mush today. So, Esper artifacts. So like send triplets or whatever that one thing is. Urza Chief Artificer. Is that the Urza from the Brothers War Commander deck? I'm a little surprised that they. Well, I'm not surprised, but I wish they had. I wish they had included partner on Urza and Mishra, because I think it would have been really fun to build a deck where they partnered together, even if it is kind of kind of antithetical to their roles in the storyline. But I still think it would have been cool. The brothers reunited. I don't know. I think it would have been cool. Yeah, how are you enjoying building that? The two Brothers War Commander decks I thought were fantastic. Like just the design flavor in them were pretty great. And I love the fact that they were both completely retro frame. Like that tickled me in a good place. That was a good touch. Wow, so there are 6 different versions of Rada Heir to Keld in DMR. That's excessive. That's an uncommon. Yeah, I mean, out of the box, they were just fantastically designed. But also just the design the design direction they went with them really felt good. I don't know about the balance of the deck itself because I never actually played mine. I immediately took it apart for cards for like other decks, mostly not Commander decks. Because they did retro frame things, but I loved the way they designed the cards for them and the cards that they picked. Like I was finally able to I think I was finally able to get my mud stacks entirely in retro frame or original frame because of the Brothers War decks. Granted, it's not a terribly modern iteration of mud control or mud stacks, but it actually, is it even mud stacks? It might be Uba stacks. It's been so long since I actually had it out to play with it. If it's Uba stacks, then I definitely don't have it done, because Uba Mask still hasn't had a retro frame print. If it's mud stacks, then it might actually be done. I don't remember if I ever iterated off of Uba stacks to mud stacks, because I love Uba Mask in Vintage. I love it in Legacy too, but it's not good in Legacy. It's just such a good stacks piece. But I'm not sure. I think we've had about the most people that we've ever had in a single stream on today. We got up to 6 viewers at one point, which is just fantastic. I'll be honest, I'm constantly blown away by all of you that come in, hang out with me here. If you'd asked me 5 years ago if I thought, even one person would come in and hang out in the stream with me, I would have laughed at you. But yeah, all of you are awesome. And it's always great to talk with you. Like it's really a highlight. Like the streaming every morning really is a highlight of my day in a lot of regards. I enjoy it. Ooh, force. I do wish I'd pulled more than 3 forces, and I wish I had matched. I don't think I ended up with any 2 forces that were the same. I'm pretty sure I pulled 3 forces and they were all different. I might have pulled 4. I think it was 3. I know it was at least 3. Okay, uncommons are getting a little tight. Where did I put the rares? Oh, there they are. Alright. You need a tray for uncommons. That works there. Okay. Retro frames will probably need space next. I'm gonna go spend time with my kid. I hope you have a great time, though fun being in your stream. Well, enjoy. Have fun with your kid. If family time is very important. So I'm actually gonna have to go pretty soon to go and spend time with my nieces and nephews. In fact, we've been going for 1 hour and 15 minutes. And we just wrapped up another row. So now's actually a pretty good stopping point. Good logical stopping point. So I can get cleaned up and go visit the family. So, Nick, Walter, Russell, everyone else, thank you for joining me today. As always, thank you for joining me on this adventure. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I do try to stream daily for at least an hour. Generally starting around 10 a.m. Eastern. Sometimes I'll start a little earlier, sometimes a little later. Just depends on the day. But I always try to stream for about an hour. Once I start a new contract, that may change. We will see. But for now, that is the schedule. Thank you for joining me. As always, until next time, stay awesome, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.